Hello again, everyone. I'm back with another video. I'll try not to meander so much this time, but I probably will anyway. It seems to be my new way. Wanted to bring up an important topic. It's to do with getting advice, conversations, people you surround yourself with, that kind of thing. You've probably heard, you've probably heard ideas like you are the sum of the five people you spend your most time with, and things like that. I don't know how truthful those can be because a lot of people can spend an awful lot of time alone. A lot of people can spend time with only their family and be pretty remarkable people, pretty special people. Um, but I'm sure there's some validity to that and some truth to that, and maybe even more so in the years where you're like really impressionable and still learning who you are and who you can be. Regardless, I'm gonna ask you to pay special attention to a certain dynamic, and you might not notice it, or you might not have it in your life. And if you don't have it in your life, you're very lucky. But as I talk, you'll probably realize how much you do have it in your life. So everyone has connections in their lives, and they might be your parents, they might be your friends, they might be your siblings, they might be your teammates, they might be your boss. We have connections in our lives who are either encouraging, supportive connectors, or your can't people. You have can people and can't people. And regardless of, for example, regardless of my dad's personal achievements or lack thereof, his foibles, quirks, addictions, everything else, I think the most valuable thing he ever taught me wasn't a lot of handy stuff. Wasn't anything hands on. Wasn't anything practical. Didn't wasn't about how to change a tire or tie a tie or anything like that. But what he did teach me was if there's no can't. And of course there are physical limitations of human beings, and maybe there is a can't for a lot of things. But in general, what he meant was, of course, you can do anything you put your mind to, and he'd literally say that there's no can't until you decide that it's there, right? Like reasonably, I can't make the NBA. That's fair. Reasonably, I can't jump over my home because these are the physical limitations. But really, can't is just a limit that you put on yourself. So I'm asking you today, or I'm asking you to at least think about this today. Who are the can't people in your life? Who are the people that you talk to? And whether it's, I don't know, getting a new job, getting a new car, taking a special vacation, starting that business, taking on a new hobby, trying a different sport, getting a book started, getting a YouTube channel started, any of these things, picking up a guitar, any of these little silly things, none of those are a big deal. But there are people in your lives that are going to make those can'ts. You can't do that because I wouldn't recommend you doing that. Have you thought about blah, blah, blah? Well, you wanted to try starting your own business, but do you realize A, B, C, D, E, F? No. I value, I value solid opinions. I value research. I value knowledgeable opinions. Do your research, do your homework, know what the heck you're talking about? Absolutely. But your can't people, they're not necessarily, if ever, giving you their can'ts. I said can'ts. They're not shutting down your ideas based on their deep research most of the time. They're probably feeding you a you can't based on how small they are. So many people out there, the larger you become, and I don't mean physically, of course, metaphorically, the more uncomfortable they get. Your life gets bigger and bolder and better. Not and bigger isn't always better. We all have preferences, but your life expands, goes to these uncomfortable places, and you get stronger as a person, more nuanced, more experienced. You grow as a person. And these people can't keep up. That's why they're can't people, because they've already told themselves that they can't. And because they've told themselves that they can't, their lives stay this big right here, my thumbnail. Their lives stay like this. They don't try new things. They haven't been uncomfortable in 30 years. They haven't had a different job in 20 years. Any number, they don't try new foods for Pete's sake. They don't try anything because there's too much can't in their lives. And they get happy and comfortable and they're Homer Simpson on the couch with that nice groove for his big fat ass. And that's how they live their lives. And so the can't people in your lives will convince you that whatever it is, from getting your hands on a new vehicle to traveling to Spain to getting in shape enough to be part of a special athletic event or whatever, none of these are anywhere near impossible. But they will feed you can't. They'll find all the excuses that are already here that you're trying to ignore and bypass and get through. You're trying to perhaps honor the excuses. You're trying to perhaps recognize the difficulty because there's a value in recognizing how difficult something's going to be. Of course there is. But can't people, they're not just recognizing the difficulty. Can't people are putting up the wall. Done. Can't. And you have them in your life. And don't, like, the fewer in your life, the luckier you are. But no one is void of can't people. Don't give them the level of attention that they hope to receive from you. Don't give them that power over you. If you have a can't person in your life that's a very close relationship to you, that's kind of sad already. But regardless, don't let them have the power over you. And if that means leaving them back there, you might have to. But not altogether, right? We can kind of compartmentalize our lives as need be, right? And that I'm talking about, like, family members. It's not like you're gonna disown a parent because they're can't people, right? But anyway, don't give can't people the energy that they want to take from you, that they want to suck from you. I think that's all I'm going to say about this one. But speaking of being a can person, a positive person, someone who can genuinely do things because they put their mind to it and they work hard and they recognize that there's going to be challenges, right? Like, we're not toxic positivity here. Life's not sunshine and rainbows and unicorns. But if you're being thorough and you're checking out the obstacles that might come your way and you decide to grit your teeth and get started on whatever the thing is that you want to do, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Anyway, speaking of you can join Give It All for Jean Paul. You can save a life, save lives by donating plasma or blood at a Canadian Blood Services location. You can join the Give It All for Jean Paul team at the link in the description here. And you can start to be a can person for others as well. So I hope this is somewhat helpful, because you can. Thanks for watching.